Rappers often commit crimes to keep up their gangster image, which boosts the sales of their music. However, it comes with a price, since there are 27 rappers currently in jail, such as YNW Melly, who was almost released from jail today. However, a major update in the YNW Melly release situation was announced today as it reports. The judge gave the Broward Sheriff's Office until December 16th to explain why YNW Melly shouldn't be released from prison after requesting a 10-day extension. If no explanation is given, Melly will be released. YNW Melly should have already been released today on December the 7th, according to the original deadline, but the judge stepped in to extend it. This has been Melly's reality for the last 5 years. Once something looks good for him, they either extend the time for the prosecutors or find another reason to keep him locked up, which is exactly how Boozy talked about Melly's case.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
And with YNW Melly being mistreated inside jail, his mother's now suing the county jail. A report shares, Melly sues Broward Sheriff's Office for cruel treatment and is seeking immediate release from prison. Melly also claims they have not allowed him to see or speak with any family members in 3 years. Because it's stated, Melly's living in a freezing cold jail cell without edible food and no human contact. It was even shared. An interview from YNW Melly's mother paints a disturbing picture of Melly's life in jail, making it sound like he won't last much longer. We saw Melly's mother explain that despite Melly being granted a mistrial in his case, he's been left in jail and hasn't been able to make any phone calls or look at his mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But Charleston White revealed he's happy that Melly is miserable in jail, saying he shouldn't get special treatment.
Even the YMW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing, about being mistreated, when you done chose to play somebody.
This upset YNW Melly's mother a lot, and she spoke about how she's heartbroken for her son.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But we'd hear from Boozy again, because he went to visit Melly's mother during the original trial and spoke about the stress she was going through.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
But the feds created a 6-page evidence file explaining the reasons why YNW Melly shouldn't be released from jail. You tell me if you would release him. The prosecutor started with what Melly's motive was, because back before his arrest, Melly was close friends with King Von. We heard from a former O Block member who shared that Melly asked King Von for advice on how to handle YNW Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was 2 friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends, and he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
According to the O-Block member, Sack Chaser and Juvie were after Melly for financial gain. They wanted the YNW business to be split equally in 4 ways. However, with Melly and Bortland bringing in the most revenue by performing concerts, selling merch, and doing promotions, they wanted to keep most of the money. And if you knew how King Von was, you'd know how Von would have told Melly to handle it. And when you pair the motive to the evidence off Melly's phone on the day of the incident, it doesn't look good.
The PT Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
If Melly practically admitting to it in a message wasn't bad enough, he'd be found only 6 hours after the crime with Bortland, where they don't look sad at all.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Knowing how Melly handled the crime on an emotional level, the lead prosecutor then dug into the physical evidence of the Jeep they were driving on that night. Melly claimed it all happened in a drive-by, but Sergeant Williams, who investigated the vehicle, revealed there's no way it could have happened that way.
Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside of the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas is coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that was Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
No. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time assignment, which is to determine if this is a driver. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
Okay, a lot of information in that answer, so let's break it down a little bit. You mentioned so I'm gonna zoom in on site F.
So with Williams practically admitting it had to be whoever was in the back left seat, we saw YNW Juvie's mother show up and reveal who was sitting there.
And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Jamel.
And Jamel, is that the defendant, Jamel Demons?
Yes, ma'am.
However, the feds filed for an extension to prevent Melly from being released so they could target Melly's partner, Bortland.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
Because the feds got a warrant and searched Bortlen's house, which revealed papers hidden in a suitcase. The raid revealed that when Bortlen showed up in court, he later went home and drew out details of the jurors in the case. With the report, here are the images of notes discovered during the home raid of Bortlen's home last week. Because Bortlen described what the jurors looked like and where they were sitting, we later saw DJ Academics reveal how serious this crime is.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Like, god damn. Holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, brother, like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
Because in the case that Melly was sentenced to prison, Bortlen could reveal who the jurors were and get revenge against them. This is why jurors' identities are supposed to be kept hidden in a trial, but Bortlen tried to expose them. With YNW Bortlen trying to find out who the jurors were in the last trial, that was likely the reason Melly was unable to receive a bond after getting a mistrial. When Melly was denied bond, it left his mother in tears as Melly asked if she was okay in the courtroom.
Sorry.
We'll just don't do it.
However, with Melly's retrial not for a long time, his lawyers are still trying to get him out on bond with the report. New judge hears YNW Melly's lawyers out on a bond release. With many moving pieces for the retrial, a delay is likely. Expect the rapper to release soon. We saw the report of Melly's trial being set for September 2025, with his mother Jamie King sharing an update at the courthouse.
Free Melly till he's free. He's coming home, guys. Just patience. So we did have court today. Him and Bort, they both had court. And so basically, the judge put a new trial date in for September 10th of 2025. Please make it make sense. I don't know. At this point, they need to just dismiss the case. So, and yeah, he still doesn't have phone calls. Still no visitation. He's still in the new facility all alone by himself, no contact. He's not allowed to have contact with any other inmates. They move him around with several guards. It's like something you never...
But when you take a full look at the YNW Melly case, he and Bortlen were originally arrested back in February 2019 for the passing of Sack Chaser in juvie. Melly was granted a mistrial in the case in July 2023. However, he's not had one day outside of jail since his original arrest, despite all the tries for bond release. Meanwhile, YNW Bortlen was released on a bond back in 2019, showing that Melly's been the Fed's main target since day one. This heavily dates back to the original investigation of Bortlen on the night of the crime, making it seem that Bortlen was the more innocent one and that Melly was mainly responsible.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
Because it's been a constant game of trying to get Melly a bond, then the feds finding a way to deny it from happening the last 5 years. At one time, they dropped new witness tampering charges on Melly and Bortlen for talking to Melly's ex-girlfriend.
The state filing 6 new charges against Dimmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation, or conspiracy to commit tampering and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
According to court files and YNW Juvie's father, Melly and Bortland had been using code words to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him.
Communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures to try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
However, Lil Durk's jail life has been far from easy, but to understand what's happening to him inside jail, you first need to talk about how. Lil Durk's court hearing today announced very concerning things. First, it started with Durk's lawyer saying there's no real evidence against him. It reads, "When you see an artist's rap lyrics quoted as evidence against them, it is a glaring indication that there is no real evidence against that person." However, this all changed, as at the end of the court hearing it was announced, Lil Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Vonnie, King Von's cousin, filed for protective custody when they came to court together this week, which got the attention of Lil Durk's best friend Bezu, who reacted on Instagram Live.
No motherfucker know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man. For real, for real. Them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the be going on for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. I'm snitching on them that's innocent, man. Y'all just be weird as hell. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all that threw the jams rumors out there, now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what, blood? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real. My kids, y'all really just be running, and that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them all put under the jails. Y'all trying to go let them meet Larry for the first time, you hear me? Mama.
OTF Vonnie has been a loyal part of the team. However, Vonnie snitching was likely a result of OTF Jam giving the prosecutors footage of Vonnie jewelry shopping with King Von, and the other two suspects being Didi and Boogie. Knowing King Von, they'd most likely be in touch with Lil Durk.
Solitary
Hey,
stone.
we just looked at him. Good, man.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
However, it gets worse from here. The court update reads, the feds believe Lil Durk paid to get these two people dealt with. Number 1, Stefan Mack, who got Lil Durk's brother D Thang, and number 2, OTF Jam's baby mom passed. After Lil Durk found out he wore a wire around him, feds think OTF Jam is the key to putting Lil Durk in jail for all 3 crimes. It was this Instagram Live when Lil Durk noticed OTF Jam was wearing a wire. Jam was seen holding the top of his jacket and looking if everything was connected with his wire.
Hey, kid. I ain't gonna lie, my whole dream changed. I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day. Oh, my. Oh, dang. Like back in the day. Look, he took out.
Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I was having a dare. Architect. Having who? I'm having a dare. School's out of town. All that woofing on the net, it got your man shit. Uh-huh. Metro!
With the courts having so much evidence on Lil Durk, they'd bring up his lyrics. Look on the news and see your son screaming no no, as Quando is seen at the crime screaming no no.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
They also made a connection to more lyrics where Lil Durk raps, told me they got an Addy, they got the location, go. As there was an announcement, Brick Baby says that he would have dropped Quando's location if Durk asked because he is loyal to him.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coke if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if you make the call right now, I'd up it.
Right.
Although Lil Durk wasn't going to just let Jam snitch on all his lyrics, as it was reported. OTF Jam found by OTF members hiding in a crib outside of Atlanta. Sources claim Jam was dealt a punishment for snitching on Lil Durk, alongside a photo of the scene outside of the house Jam was staying at. OTF Jam has been silent, and no one heard from him since, which was only the beginning, as Brick Baby also said you can't say Durk never slid for King Von anymore because they got Lil Pab, essentially calling out Lil Durk to the public.
This is just it.
Oh,
5 Chicago gang members with ties to Lil Durk, OTF, accused of being hired to unalive Quando Rondo in the LA incidents where Lil Pab was unalive. Suspects faced the penalty if convicted. He said indictment alleged that flights and rental cars were paid with credit cards linked to OTF.
But was this an attempted hit? Or
Well,
they
can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why? Oh yeah, because of
your face.
No. Like who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California.
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the.
Oh. What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
However, it's recommended Lil Durk lays low with the announcement. The Lil Durk case is starting to see the first pieces of evidence in court. Rumors from around the court reveal there's footage from OTF Jam recording the planning process of OTF catching Quando Rondo's crew. But the courtroom showed this Instagram live of Durk from the day Lil Pab passed. Prosecutors believe Durk was trying to create an alibi for himself.
They can't see other shit. What? Tweaking them folks. Right. Hey, somebody always said slap a car. Somebody always said slap a car. Look Khan who died over, yeah.
What Goofy said that?
He said, bro, like a cheeseburger. Ain't nothing cheesy over here, stupid little boy. This is real water. Y'all jewels be y'all over for real. Hey, I know what it be too, bud. What's that? Like everybody be having that cheese, you know? Y'all be doing shout outs and shit, man. You gotta know your jewelry. Like, if somebody want me to give them a shout out for some jewelry, I'm gonna make sure you're in that vault. Yeah.
However, Lil Durk's been trying to get released on a bond due to his recent jail issues, as Quando Rondo's been trying to get his revenge against him. Sources allege Lil Durk's prison transfer was caused by issues within his cell block. Being a high-profile rapper likely caused him to be targeted for commissary and money. Soon after this report, we saw both Quando Rondo and Lil Tim speak about Durk being arrested, where we heard Quando say that Durk's got a family he needs to look out for, but he threw it away.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
However, Lil Tim said the entire King Von situation should have been avoided, meaning none of this would have happened.
To know, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, at the end of the day, if they ain't never popped that shit off, that would have never happened like that.
Although with Quando possibly having it out for Lil Durk in jail, Durk announced he wasn't scared by this phone call. The post captioned, "Just got off the phone with my brother Lil Durk. He's in good spirits, staying positive, and trying to get back home to his kids and family. We're not glorifying negativity. We're more than just street guys. That's an understatement. We're men of honor, and the code no matter our financial status. Bro hit the main line with the rest of our kind, no protective custody."
This call was from a federal prison.
Say what, bro?
I said, I know you're real, but if you need anything, you know I got you.
You know, I appreciate it. You know, that count,
yeah. Yeah, I know how that be, bro. It don't matter, bro. We ain't never moved our money. Except for that first time. Once it was that, it was that. Once it was like then, everything was history.
Yeah. I feel back to you same. I came up here like, shit, where you from? What you got going? I'm into it, yeah.
Man, what? a PC. Hey.
Downstairs, they be like, man, you know you, man, send me upstairs. Whatever it is, I gotta tap to it. Nah, for sure. Can't go no more with a PC and come out acting all crazy.
Because Lil Durk was offered protective custody following the latest incident inside his jail cell block, but he denied it. This got the attention of Charleston White, who shared he was happy this was happening.
This is a real victory. Because it is a demonic force. It was a dark force. It was a dark energy that came down from Chicago and spread throughout America. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
However, DJ Academics believes that Durk shouldn't have released that phone call.
With all due respect to whoever 900 Brubra is, again, with all due respect to you, the guy's fighting for his life. I get it. Maybe for whatever reason, which I still think would be a dumb reason, let's say that Durk wants to address the people. You know how you put this out? You say, yo, Durk, we on. You let him say what he's saying to the public, and you cut it off. We don't need to hear y'all back and forth. Because a lot of this audio kind of feels like maybe this wasn't how Durk wanted to first communicate with everybody in the world. Anything he does is gonna go viral. Having a conversation about, you know, even if you think it's in good faith, yo, we don't move off money, nah, blah, blah, blah. It don't sound right. It don't sound right, brother.
However, we saw the feds investigate the lyrical back and forth between Quando Rondo and Durk, which led to the Lil Pab incident, because once King Von passed, Quando released a song with the lyrics, "Man ran up on me." Then we sprayed him. I'm talking lights out. We do the dash in that Durango, jumped out with that pipe out. So tell them to pipe down. Instead of Durk responding with a diss track back right away, he allegedly planned out the hit on Quando Rondo that took out Lil Pab. With the plan set into action, Durk let them know he was coming after them, rapping, "They like Durk. He a singer. He won't do something. You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit."
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
However, what's interesting about OTF Jam is that he was one of the most loyal members of OTF. The only reason he began snitching on them was because only 2 months after his initial release from prison, he was arrested again. Rather than spending more time in prison, he decided to just snitch on Lil Durk and OTF. But what makes it even worse is that Durk looked out for Jam, paying for a crib and a car.
Yeah, because you just came home not too long ago, like when you come home.
So I've been home a little bit over a year.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit over a year.
Yeah.
12 years flat.
12 years?
Like 12 years. Did my time. Ain't told them nobody.
Right.
Ain't no on my name.
Like, how did you even get linked in with just OTF period?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We broke together. This ain't no people I met. Nah, I knew them. Like I'm saying, this was before jail. I know.
Yeah, because he's super solid, but like he's like a, you know what I'm saying? He said Jam get out that jam and give him 50. He ain't gotta ask again, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gotta ask. He said he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying?
On top of that, Durk handed him $50,000.
You know what's name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so they want me to trick him, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, goof
Bro got out what?
You know that
How many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
But it's not all bad. Despite all this concerning evidence, we heard this from a professional lawyer. Kodak Black's attorney Bradford Cohen says Lil Durk has a chance to beat the King Von and Quando Rondo revenge case unless OTF testifies against him. He says, "I'm hesitant to say they have a slam dunk case on Durk Banks. I think they have a long way to go to prove the conspiracy against him."
When it comes to Durk Banks, you know, so far I've seen one text that says don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text. But is that the only text? Because that doesn't, you know, that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial. But like I said, we have to wait and see what other evidence they have. If they have a snitch, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something, I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. Because he could be blaming, Grant or one of these other guys and saying like, hey, these guys are going to do some crazy stuff. And he's like, hey, listen, make sure it doesn't associate with me at all. You can look at that a million different ways. So I'm hesitant to say that they have, a slam dunk case on Dirk Banks.
Kodak's lawyer even mentioned when he thinks Dirk will be released, assuming no one snitches on him.
So it all depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the AUSA that's involved. And if they want this individual badly enough, they'll make very attractive deals for these individuals. What does a very attractive deal look like? I think they go for the lowest hanging fruit. Whoever, didn't actually the guy, maybe someone that was involved that didn't actually, or someone that, but it didn't hit, they're going to have forensics. Yeah. So they'll take whoever is the least culpable, and I think that they'll approach him and make a deal with him that'll be the most attractive. And if that guy doesn't make a deal, they'll move on to the next guy. So usually that's what happens, right? You go for the lowest hanging fruit first, the guy that you think will flip, the guy that didn't really have that much involvement. And I think what also is interesting with the indictment is it wasn't just money. They're like, oh, it could have been money or it could have been career advancement.
But a new rapper just sentenced to prison time was NBA Youngboy, who will now waste his career away. NBA Youngboy was just sentenced to prison time with his emotional reaction being leaked online. Youngboy has accepted a plea deal in the federal firearm case that was transferred from Louisiana to Utah. As part of the deal, he will be sentenced to 27 months in prison, with credit for any time served in pretrial detention, followed by 5 years of federal probation. However, the judge had a change of heart before sentencing him to prison, but before it could happen, the courtroom turned into a nightmare with a crazy Youngboy fan hacking into the court hearing sound system and begin yelling "Free Youngboy."
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case is already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free YB. Free YB. Free YB.
Youngboy entered the courtroom smiling and laughing as he reacted to the hacker who was screaming in support of him. The judge then started reading out the charges, because back on March 10th, 2021, Youngboy was arrested and charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and a count of possession of an unregistered firearm. And with Youngboy being that rapper who's probably been in and out of jail the most for various crimes, they weren't going to take it easy on him, and was all the more reason why the firearm charge was so serious. However, the reason Youngboy got caught with the firearm was that he was recording a music video in a neighborhood playing loud music and dancing on the hoods of cars. An older lady who lives on the street called the police because she was concerned with what they were doing. Once police arrived, they recognized Youngboy for his long history with the sheriff's office and arrested him.
So yesterday at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on Youngboy back in September during that music video, that was shown, and it was very interesting because the cop comes right up to him, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him. And then Youngboy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me? That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You could search me. I got nothing on me. Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time Youngboy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. Youngboy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, you held in a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA Youngboy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good long look on what's going on there.
But while his arrest was happening, Youngboy's cameraman was scrambling to delete any footage of Youngboy holding a firearm for the music video. But just before he was able to finish deleting all the photos, the police confiscated the camera, where they recovered the photo evidence of Youngboy committing the crime. Youngboy's lawyer argued in court that the footage was obtained illegally since they had no permission to do so at the time, but it didn't hold up in court. As we saw in the report, Youngboy has lost his appeal with the feds, and now prosecutors can use footage of him holding firearms to convict him.
Update on NBA Youngboy. He lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened? So the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be a is suppressed, can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the Fifth Circuit United States Court of Appeals. The Fifth Circuit said, you know what, we have a different decision, and we're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to be allowed in the case. Now, Youngboy's got a couple of options. One, he can appeal to the Supreme Court. I fully expect they will appeal to the Supreme Court. Two, you got to go to the government and say, look, this guy was locked up for a long amount of time. I think he was locked up for almost a year. He's been on house arrest for almost a year. How much time do you want him to serve, and think about doing a plea bargain? Ultimately, you can also take this case to trial and try to beat the feds and go 2-0 against them. He's previously beaten a federal.
However, with Youngboy's sentencing finally going down after he submitted a plea deal, the judge shared an emotional speech to Youngboy, which he wished the best for him. The judge gave Youngboy a positive message about him being robbed of his talent and potential due to his addiction, and wished him the best of luck after he's out of prison in the future.
Mr. Golden, I've seen so many times that good men and women who have a lot of talent and potential, that they can be robbed of that potential when they start to really struggle with their addiction. So I don't want that for you. You seem like a very talented young man. I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank you.
Anything
Thank you, Your
further?
Honor. That's all I have, if I
Okay.
could excuse.
You may.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
As the official report of Youngboy's plea deal was shared, Youngboy's case is closed. Youngboy will serve 27 months in jail and 60 months of probation. However, the concerning part for Youngboy is that this was just one charge he faced. Youngboy's still facing the charges for when he skipped a court date back in the day, had a warrant go out for his arrest, and then started a high-speed police chase. Because with the warrant out for his arrest, the FBI staked out his location, waiting for him to make a move. Suddenly, Youngboy jumped in his car and began leaving the house for the day. The FBI began tailing Youngboy before they finally put on their lights in an attempt to pull him over. Youngboy would eventually start slowing down on the side of the highway. Once coming to a complete stop and the officer getting out of his vehicle, Youngboy put his car back into drive and floored it down the highway. After running into traffic, he went back onto the regular streets, and once he got stuck in traffic on regular streets also, he jumped out and started a foot chase, which probably wasn't the best idea considering Youngboy was wearing all of designer clothes, skinny jeans, designer shoes, and some chains, which resulted in him not running very far before ultimately getting caught. However, this foot chase led to a couple of crazy photos of Youngboy running through a fan's backyard with the cop chasing after him. You rarely see this with any other rapper. Youngboy was finally swarmed by police not long after and was thrown into the police car.
You want to talk to us? Tell us what happened, or
As soon as
not?
we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this improperly if I haven't committed a crime or done nothing.
Okay. All right. Give us a second, okay?
Okay, no voluntary statement.
Hey, he's not willing to give a
So,
statement.
any statement, any voluntary statement?
No, sir. Mr.
No, okay.
Martinez, I don't want to give a statement. I don't want to be in this.
This whole situation ended up with Youngboy facing charges of speed racing, resisting arrest, and many more that the judge didn't plan to take easy on him. However, having millions of dollars gets you the best lawyers in the game because he still somehow received a bond after going on a massive police chase.
For Youngboy out of California is a $540,000 bond. He put up $500,000 in cash. In addition, he put up as collateral 2 properties worth in excess of $1.5 million, and he has to wear an ankle monitor. However, he's not going to be on house arrest. According to the bond set by the California judge, he simply has to wear the ankle monitor but is otherwise free to travel. This is very big. Why? Given that the California judge found that these circumstances are sufficient for a Youngboy, why would a Louisiana judge find any differently? The Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, he's looking at the same charges, and he's making a decision under the exact same federal law. Sure, it's a different court and a different circuit, and the way the laws are applied varies somewhat from state to state, from circuit. It shouldn't vary a lot. If this California judge said, hey, this much money and these restrictions are good, it would be very, very weird for a Louisiana judge to say, oh no amount of money and no restrictions. That would be very uncommon. I fully expect that the Louisiana judge on Tuesday will release Youngboy on.
Unfortunately with Youngboy, he's just gone on a bad path ever since he turned his back to most of the rappers in the industry. He used to be cool with almost every rapper in the game, but he began starting constant beef and self-snitching on himself in lyrics. For example, when Youngboy was arrested for the high-speed chase, NLE Choppa showed his support of Youngboy, dropping his song Free Youngboy in hopes of getting him released. But when Youngboy went after dissing King Von and all that after his passing, it didn't didn't sit right with Choppa. It all started with Choppa releasing Bring the Hook in 2022, which dissed King Von and all of O Block, which got the rap community to react to it, because DJ Academics shared, "Young boy on demon time right now, and he's dropping another whole tape." This is when we saw Lil Reese respond, "That ain't no demon time. He just rapping like the rest of these rappers all rap." And Choppa showed which side he stood on by replying to Reese, "I stamp that." For some reason, this made Youngboy mad, which is when he dropped his song Know Like I Know and dissed Choppa for just speaking on the situation. As he rapped, "I bet your mama be destroyed when we send you to God for making statements, choosing sides about my beef with them boys. I could say I saw it, you could say I was your favorite." With Choppa feeling disrespected, he changed the song title of Free Youngboy to just Youngboy, showing he didn't stand with Youngboy anymore. We even saw a video of Choppa speaking on the situation with DJ Academics.
He's not able to defend his name, bro, and it be a lot going on within his name about him. When, to me, bro, he a real stand-up dude, and it was just unfortunate how it happened. Like, he came to a person as a man.
But he also followed it up by talking about it on DJ Vlad as well.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was funny to me. I feel like, it's not serious when it hit the net. It's funny. It's just entertainment to me.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Good song. Nice bars.
Because overall, Choppa just wants to stop all the hate that goes on in the rap community. As he shared this on Youngboy, he needs to be more careful. He's got a lot of people looking up to him, and he needs to set a better example. He needs to stay out of trouble and focus on his music. Although, of course, that wouldn't happen. Because when Louisiana rapper Jada Youngin passed away, many looked at Youngboy and his crew for being responsible. However, the two were once good with each other, as Jay shared how he wanted to collaborate with Youngboy.
Me and Youngboy, soon we will be making music together. I'm a fan of Youngboy music. Yeah, we gonna collaborate pretty soon and put on for our state, because when we do, I feel like this is gonna be one of the hardest collaborations ever.
They did eventually collaborate on their song, Up With Me. But Jay messed it all up when he leaked an unreleased Youngboy song on his Instagram. Youngboy responded, "Delete this now, I don't know how you even got my song. I don't mess around like that." But Jay said he wouldn't take any disrespect.
I'm a real and I stand on everything, you hear me? Ain't no gonna play with me, ain't don't disrespect me.
Jay stood up for himself against Youngboy and rapped the lyrics. "You put that comment on my post, they laughed about that, but I was laughing when your baby mama was on me." As photos came out showing Jay had been hanging around with one of Youngboy's baby mamas. As usual for Youngboy, he hated that Jay was going against him, and he warned Jay to watch out, as Youngboy recorded this not long after seeing Jay.
"You be hiding. We real headhunters, man. Come on, man. Open their mouth, came to what they was, man. Oh."
However, Pooh Shiesty's been sitting away in jail for 2 years now, and it's not ending anytime soon, as it was revealed on the news.
The barrage of sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon, where the flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands.
Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty committed an armed robbery driving a bright green McLaren, then flexed the car on Instagram 2 hours later, leading to his arrest. Self-snitching ultimately got him locked up. However, rumors started of Shiesty snitching on others involved in the case when the judge announced his early release date. But Shiesty's friend Big 30 came to defend him.
My mama, if you see some paperwork, my mama, I do whatever y'all tell me to do, cause my eyebrows, mustache, hair, I throw my chains in the river and jump in and if Shiesty snitch. Go home, take one to the clean them rat.
When Pooh Shiesty was brought in, he created a proffer deal with the feds. However, rappers looked at it as snitching. As Academics explains, Shiesty's current situation in jail isn't normal for someone who committed the charges he did.
But salute to Pooh Shiesty, who looked like he's absolutely chilling in jail. My boy got a little Richard Millie. You know what I mean? Got the haircut all right. You know what I mean?
They be playing Fortnite Mobile.
In jail? Oh, he got the Timbs on. They look fresh as well. Yo, this so chilling in prison. He got 2 watches. Like, you know what I mean? Like 2 watches, not even 1.
In the original crime documents, it starts with Shiesty and his friend setting up a meet for high-end sneakers and narcotics. Pooh Shiesty is seen arriving at the meet driving a bright green McLaren. While waiting for the seller, Pooh Shiesty and his boy create a plan to steal the items against the 2 sellers. Once they arrive, the seller gave Shiesty the sneakers. Shiesty begins doing a legit check on the pair of sneakers, giving his boy enough time to get into position for what was about to go down. While negotiating over the price, an argument started. It was getting heated until Pooh Shiesty finally grabs a firearm out of his waistband. The 2 sellers quickly sprint sprint away and try ducking behind their car, but they weren't fast enough, as Shiesty hit both of them. While Pooh Shiesty was handling the two men, Shiesty's boy was in charge of grabbing the sneakers and narcotics off the trunk of the car. He grabs the goods and brings them into the passenger side of the McLaren. At the same time, Pooh Shiesty is making sure his job is done and quickly opened the McLaren door, hopped in, and took off. However, one massive mistake Shiesty made was that his McLaren door is a buttery fly door, meaning the doors go upwards. The one problem with that is since Shiesty slammed the door shut, his Louis Vuitton bag fell out and into the parking lot. Pooh Shiesty never knew the bag dropped, and he left it on the ground at the scene. The bag had $40,000 in cash in it and ended up playing a huge role in catching Shiesty for being responsible, but more on that later. After the crime was committed, Shiesty headed straight for Miami Airport, rented a private jet, and flew out immediately. Although only a couple days later, Pooh Shiesty would be arrested.
The town of Bay Harbor Island says you're wanted with
He's also charged with armed robbery, battery in their affidavit, saying the two left the state in a private jet.
Once booked into jail, he was quickly bonded out for $30,000. However, he returned to jail shortly after being found guilty.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest warrant. It was issued June 3rd. It's charging you. You have two attorneys here, or is it? I'm sorry, two attorneys in the state. Go ahead. You want to announce again?
Brad Cohen and Sam Zegny for the defendant.
Right. Have you had a chance to review?
Yes, Judge, we have.
After some time, we saw it officially reported. Pooh Shiesty sentenced to 63 months in prison. He was facing 8 years. Despite the charges he faced, Shiesty only got 63 months, which seemed very low, as we saw DJ Academics react to it on stream.
And I think he's coming home like next year, maybe the year after. However, it looked like he's, taking responsibility of whatever happened and doing his time, not crying, clearly trying to let people know he's straight. And I do think when he comes back out, granted, as long as it's not like too far from now, if he comes back in a year, he's good. I still think even within 2 years.
Committing crimes like this for Shiesty was nothing new. Many believe Shiesty was trying to paint an image to help boost his rap career by committing a crime. But it was revealed that Shiesty's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pooh Shiesty was probably the biggest artist that he signed in recent memory. But Pooh Shiesty had a history of crimes before he ever signed to Gucci. It ain't like, he was like a school kid and Gucci suddenly put him in a bad direction. No, he was already doing it. Gucci wasn't around when he was doing all the crazy shit that got him locked up for. It just is what it is.
Pooh Shiesty's in prison right now for somebody in the ass with a dog while sitting inside of a McLaren.
Yeah.
Some Grand Theft Auto shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's who he was before that. So it's like, that ain't a surprise. And Gucci ain't gonna tell you like he can't just change who you are as a person. So it's like, but people come up with the conspiracy theories and the life insurance, whatever.
But what saved Pooh Shiesty a lot of time in lockup was his proffer deal he made with the feds. A proffer is when the criminal provides detailed information to the feds relating to their crime, for which immunity or a lesser sentence is granted. With people not knowing the full story, they think Shiesty snitched people out, but he snitched on himself and broke down how the crime happened. It's looked at positively when giving the judge and prosecutors all the information so that an easy verdict is reached. But with Shiesty doing the deal, they made him outline the mistakes he made while doing the crime. The first mistake was that he just committed an armed robbery right beside a police station. The video footage you see here is recorded from police station cameras. Once the sound of firearms in the area was heard, several police cars arrived at the parking lot. With law enforcement knowing exactly the location of the armed robbery, it didn't take long for them to look through the recording tapes from the video camera across the street. Also, with police arriving at the scene as fast as they did, they picked up the Louis Vuitton bag. Because surprisingly, the feds already had an idea of who committed the robbery, so they went to Shiesty's Instagram and downloaded a few pictures of him doing money spreads. With the photos of the bills visible, they lined them up with the same serial numbers as the money that was in the Louis Vuitton bag. But the biggest mistake of all is when Pooh Shiesty posted a selfie with an all-green McLaren he just committed an armed robbery with on the same day. Just to make it clear, he posted pictures with the exact car that was in the armed robbery. Even with Shiesty in prison, his team ended up releasing a music video titled Gone MIA, which flexes the green McLaren. However, rappers continued calling Pooh Shiesty a snitch, giving him a bad reputation in the game. In response, Shiesty made a post and called out the ops that were disrespecting him, which reads, "King Shiesty Shiesty tapping in from the middle of the penitentiary. I remain untouched, millions in double digits. Tell Google to fix my net worth. We can verify that right now. I'm locked up, not messed up. I was 21 up 8 figures. Jay-Z can't even relate to my money. Stop playing with my name before I buy one of you for sale. You guys aren't anything. I put on for this stuff every day, twice on Sundays. I'm on the same stuff from Tokyo to Tennessee. I ain't never got scared that no one ever played with me. When I was free or in jail, I'm still the man of Memphis. Still the king no matter what jungle. Slick is almost the same man, just a little more powerful. But talking about Baby Larry, how did you let a man in the feds outdo you? You can't beat me. You're going to have to get your hands in the game before you can do something with me. For my fans, supporters, and loved ones holding me down every day, keep it solid. I promise it doesn't go unnoticed. I see everything and have something special for all of y'all. The rest of you guys are done. Keep hating, false advertising, backbiting, and counting me out. It's up and stuck like a treehouse. I'm touching down. I got a chip on my shoulder. I'm going 100% on you guys. Pooh Shiesty is standing tall in jail, as thankfully Pooh Shiesty will be released from lockup within the next year or two. However, he shares a message during an interview before being arrested.
Really when I got signed, but I'm gonna tell you before I got signed, like breaking news. The verse on breaking news made everybody go crazy, and folks started saying I'm their favorite rapper already, so I'm gonna stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just made me go hard.
So the success kind of gave you the confidence to really keep it up?
Yeah, they rock with me for sure.
Man.
It's my first verse.
Another rapper facing life inside of prison is New York rapper K Flock. New evidence in the K Flock case revealed disturbing facts about his life inside of jail, as the courts showed a new video of K Flock sending out a message from jail.
I know what's going on, man. Flock, I know something. Man, like, me to the guys, man. Hey, yo, like, I'll be back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love all y'all, man. For all the youth out there, violence, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. For me, get through life correctly, bro. Like,
get money.
But this led to Flock being transferred to a cell block that's not nearly as nice. As reported, K Flock's team brought up issues about his current jail situation inside of court. Inmates were targeting the rapper for money, snacks, and commissary, which became an issue that left the rapper in several altercations, similar to how Charleston White reacted to Melly's jail situation, saying that rappers shouldn't be given special treatment.
The YMW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
K Flock's situation is a result of the crimes that he committed. Court files share that on December 23rd, 2021, New York rapper K Flock, otherwise known as Kevin Perez, was involved in a situation leading to the passing of a man named Oscar Hernandez. On this day, K Flock was walking down the street in New York City. As photos reveal, Flock is seen walking past a barbershop with 2 other individuals. K Flock was wearing a blue coat with a Shiesty mask. When Oscar walks out of the shop and notices Flock walking by, as we'd see Oscar scream at Flock asking, "What you looking at?" a small argument broke out on the sidewalk between them until Hernandez finally started walking away from K Flock. However, Flock was seen pulling out a firearm from his waistband and using it towards Oscar Hernandez. With Oscar injured, he tried running back to the barbershop for help and would unfortunately pass at the hospital from his injuries. All that was left at the scene were shell casings and Hernandez's slides that he was wearing. At first, no one knew who did the crime since Flock was wearing a mask. However, when the NYPD released this photo of the suspect, fans recognized him as K Flock and informed the authorities, because only hours before the incident, he flexed on Instagram the fit he had been wearing. With law enforcement putting out a warrant for Flock's arrest, he'd quickly hire one of the best lawyers in the game before turning himself in. Where we'd see Flock's lawyer release the statement, "Yesterday, I accompanied Kevin as he self-surrendered to detectives in the 30th precinct. Arrangements were immediately made with the NYPD once I learned he was wanted. As to the charges against him, we have begun our investigation into these allegations." But considering the district attorney's significant disclosure this morning, the NYPD received a tip saying someone else was the hitter. We demand the district attorney's office provide disclosure of the videos referenced in the complaint. We will address bail once we have had a chance to review the case and further investigate the disclosure. But once it was confirmed to be K Flock, his lawyer received the evidence in discovery for Flock's case, and he believes he was acting in self-defense.
When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. You know, we consider that to be self-defense.
So he did take him in self-defense.
That's what the allegation is. You know, I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case, but the government claims that he pulled the, but at the same time, the person that was ground had his hand on a illegal loaded apparently about Kevin.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense. That's the crux.
You know, that could be one of the arguments, self-defense. And I would say to the public, you know, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want to?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to pull the.
However, the NYPD believes this incident was street-related based on K-Flock's affiliation with a Bronx-based street team. K-Flock has been heavily involved in street-related acts during his time in New York. Not to mention, with his rap career taking off, he became a big name in the streets and had tons of control over street scenarios, but was also the reason that he was a main target for other teams to retaliate against. However, we'd see one of K-Flock's close friends, B-Love, share his thoughts on Flock's arrest.
Okay, but so I saw some fans who were off at both me and academics after K-Flock got locked up because well, just because I guess, like, you know, in our tone when we talked about it, you know, it might have seemed like we were being a little too presumptuous. But is that weird for you? Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like, you know, your boy is just done and he's cooked in this situation.
I ain't gonna lie, people, especially people that don't even be knowing, like, y'all don't even know what's going on, bro. Yeah.
Due to those reasons, K-Flock and his lawyers are convinced he was acting in self-defense. His lawyers were positive they could beat the case and that K-Flock would have been released soon, which got rappers reacting to his case.
What's it like for you watching the K-Flock thing happen? That's crazy. Next big artist coming out of New York.
I love Flock, so I like that. I like that. That's my guy.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm wishing him the best right now, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, for the alleged charges they pushing on him, you know what I'm saying? I'm wishing his family the best. I'm wishing the whole team the best and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I hope he beat them alleged charges, you know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of future brightness he got, and I hope, you know what I'm saying, everything just wake all the young kids up. Like how fast it just,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be a sad story if that's the end of the
No, man, we ain't gonna think like that, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta stay positive.
But once his lawyers were building evidence to prove Flock acted in self-defense, new charges were announced with the report. Rapper K-Flock was indicted by a federal grand jury for new racketeering conspiracy charges, also known as RICO charges, which had rappers react by stating, K-Flock just caught a RICO, it's over. Even DJ Academic said, Feds just unsealed an indictment on K-Flock for a RICO charge. The mandatory minimum if he doesn't beat the charges of snitches, life in prison. He's still facing state charges that have him locked up. This once again relates to how Boozy spoke about YNW Melly's case, saying, when the feds want you, they will keep you.
When they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
Because K-Flock should have been released by now, but we heard from his lawyers on the RICO charge. It announced, we're not surprised by federal charges as we fought Kevin's state charges for over a year. Considering the incident was a clear act of self-defense, it wasn't a strong charge. But with it being used as a basis for a penalty charge is extraordinary. On video, it's clear Kevin was about to be affected after trying to walk away from Oscar Hernandez. Only then did Kevin use an item to defend himself from the armed rival team member, who was reaching to pull out an item from their pocket. But the feds are trying all tactics to get evidence on K-Flock. They've gone after his co-defendant asking for information. Academic shared. K-Flock's co-defendant Sticky says they came to him to ask him to snitch on K-Flock, and he told them, no, I'll see you in 30 years. He shared this Instagram photo of them in New York with the caption, did stuff at RL together, guess we gotta defend our freedom against these people together. It's all fun and games till the people come. They said, tell us about Kevin, help yourself. 30 years is a long time, and I responded, I guess I'll see you in 30 years. It's great that Sticky is staying loyal to K-Flock. However, the concerning part is that 15 people are being targeted with the RICO charges, meaning someone is likely to snitch on him regardless of Sticky keeping quiet. Even in the YSL trial that had like 30 different defendants, almost half of them ended up snitching in that trial. It's unfortunate for K-Flock because he's the only guy the feds want. Since he's the guy with the biggest public following, they want to make an example out of him. But while this has all been going on, we'd see photos reveal K-Flock sneaking on FaceTime with a couple of friends from the free world. The good news he shared was that K-Flock has all the commissary money he needs to get him whatever he wants. Although the photos of Flock make him look like he's been pretty upset and crying inside jail and not looking like the confident K-Flock we're used to seeing, at least these photos give us a clear picture of how K-Flock has been doing in jail and what's been happening with him on the inside. However, it's important to note some rappers do get released from jail, just like Young Thug, but sources claim his actions out in the free world may result in him being locked up again, such as this Instagram live.
Think I miss you.
I miss you too. What you doing?
Nothing. Bored. You don't like him?
No, in my motherfucking room.
Cause you was being mean. He felt your energy.
Man, I don't even play. I fly all the way to LA. Is that?
You ain't gonna touch him.
Young Thug's lawyers advised the rapper to stay off Instagram Live and to not release music for a month after being released. However, Thug's been on social media regardless, and it's not what we expected. As we saw DJ Academics announce Drake wanted first dibs with Young Thug once he was released. With it announced, Academics says Drake flew to see Young Thug just 2 hours after his release from jail and gave him $1 million.
They say 2 hours afterwards, Drake flew to Thug and allegedly gave him $1 million. Drake didn't tell me. Drake gonna hit me up and be like, which, by the way, super strategic move. Super strategic. Thug was in jail talking about let's squash all this beef. If I'm Drake, I need Atlanta.
It's likely Drake got Young Thug caught up on everything surrounding Gunna snitching out of the YSL trial. Thug tweeted the following day, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," as the name Wham refers to Lil Baby. Because Lil Baby defended Young Thug ever since Gunna snitched out of the case, Lil Baby responded to Young Thug saying, "We should," but talking about Gunna didn't stop there, because Young Thug tweeted again, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy." This got the attention of Gunna and his brother, where Gunna's brother said, "Trust and believe the feeling is mutual." But later into the night, Young Thug posted a clip with T.I. where he says he made it home and did it the right way, throwing shade Gunna's way since he had to snitch out of the case.
Hey man, what you gotta tell these people? Back. Back, Jack. You feel me? You did. Hey man, ain't no cap in it. No cap in my rap. You feel what I'm saying? The right way. It's time. The right way, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Right way. Yeah, that way. Yeah. And go tell that.
However, there's a serious issue with the dissing he's done against Gunna, as we saw Academics reveal the feds predicted it happening and is the reason they gave him a plea deal out of prison. With it reported, Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released and says the stipulations that he's got are set up for the court to put Young Thug back in jail.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is gang activity. But he's always gonna talk about him and his doing his thing. They might consider that gang activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about a gang. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
As DJ Academics believes Thug will end up back in jail for the remaining 20 years. But the beef went crazy when we heard Wack 100 says he has 2 hours of footage of Gunna telling on Young Thug in an interrogation room, making many believe Gunna's getting revenge for the sneak disses Thug and Lil Baby have done against him recently.
Hey Gunna, listen, I'm putting it together. I'm gonna give you some time. I don't know, 24 hours, 12 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 1 hour. I don't know. I'm gonna give you some time though, Gunna, for you to go ahead on and confess. Confess to the world about all the telling you did. You know that interrogation? Yeah, guess who got it? 2 hours? Boy, you was in there talking more than Hurricane Katrina. The only thing he did wrong was let him record him. You know what I'm talking about.
But this led to Young Thug hopping on Instagram where he said some surprising words against Gunna, which could possibly break his probation agreement.
Think I miss you.
I miss you too. What you doing?
Nothing. Bored. You don't like him?
No, in my motherfucking room.
Cause you was being mean. He felt your energy.
Man, I don't even play. I fly all the way to LA. Is that?
You ain't gonna touch him.
Within a day after this live, it was reported concerning news coming out involving Gunna being followed and approached by local gang members, as some believe it could be connected to Young Thug getting revenge for Gunna snitching on him. However, with Young Thug finally out of jail, he's been able to watch the clip of Gunna snitching and reacted to it.
I can't affiliate
Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in Berkeley?
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrant and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Which led into it being shared that right after Gunna snitched out of the YSL trial, Young Thug made several calls to rappers telling them to avoid Gunna, unfollow him, and cut any business ties.
The streets are so atrocious. Young Thug told everybody that Gunna was a snitch. I'm telling you this, I don't give a if you believe me. That's what he sent to. Or he sent a message to Dirk, Baby. There's a few other rappers I just won't call their names. Just because some of them just told me in privacy. All of them rappers start not f***ing with Gunna, speaking out, they're chilling away. Thug got out, Gunna kinda hot. It ain't like you're trying to really like jump and work with Gunna, but
with this going viral, Young Thug knew he had to respond and hopped on Instagram laughing about Gunna.
I'm on live. I just jumped on here to let you ladies know that yes, a goat can go live. Whoa! What's up? Who up right now? What's up? Who up right now?
But regardless of Gunna snitching on him, Young Thug's been living good since he got out, because we saw him flexing his jewelry and being in the studio within the same week.
P, that's some pounds, P. How much you want away, P?
You go pound, go pound, go make bag.
In that bag. Go ahead.
However, one of the weirdest things between the Thug and Gunna beef is that when Lil Baby spoke out to defend Young Thug's father told Lil Baby to be quiet.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing at Gunna for his plea deal?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name it?
Because according to Young Thug's father, Gunna had nothing to do with Young Thug still in jail.
Courtney said, how do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler. Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case.
But we then hear of a leaked phone call audio from when Young Thug was still behind bars, where he asked Lil Durk to diss Gunna, which is why we saw the snippet released a couple years ago saying, "What happened to Virgil, he's probably gonna tell," which is a diss towards Gunna by referencing the song Durk made with Gunna back in the day. However, Young Thug wanted that bar in his album.
Hey Durk, I know I want you on, I'm dropping this surprise album on the same day Buddy dropped his album. Coming up soon. I need a verse from you. If you feel like replying, if you feel like you want to reply to it, saying or something, man, don't do it. Drop it on my album. I'm dropping a surprise album on the same day that drop. Send your verse in, bro. I want you and Wham on the same song. Send your verse in.
Despite people worried about Thug breaking his probation, we saw a lawyer online share why Thug's plea deal was amazing for him and is the perfect deal if he stays out of trouble.
Young Thug absolutely won that plea deal for so many reasons. One, the prosecution got none of what they wanted when you think about what the charges were and what actually got pled to. And two, he saved himself some major civil liability. Let me break that down. So first off, the prosecution had charged this man with 8 counts. 2 of them were very serious. 2 of them were basically saying that for years you were the leader of a criminal gang that committed murders and all types of violent acts all over the city of Atlanta. Those 2 charges Young Thug did not plead guilty to. Had he pled guilty to those, he would have gotten serious time, and all the victims of all of this alleged criminal street gang activity, including the families of systems could have sued him civilly in court and said, hey, this man pled guilty to doing it. Now he's got to pay me. He pled nolo contendere. The judge accepted that plea. The prosecution said, Judge, you should not allow a nolo contendere plea on those 2 counts. The judge said, I am going to allow it.
To show that Young Thug will be sticking with the probation agreement, we've already seen him hop on FaceTime with his lawyer where he spoke to law students and told them what's important in life.
You guys should become lawyers. I think it's very important to help people out of the situations they're in the best you can. I mean, what side you want to be on? You want to put people in prison for mistakes? Because everybody makes mistakes. We're human, you know. And everybody on this phone, everybody in this classroom, you always need to know that you're one mistake away. And I feel like we need more people like Brian Steele on this earth, and less people like that. So I think it's very, very, very important to become lawyers. I think it's very, very important to be a lawyer over any other thing. You know, lawyers and doctors are the 2 greatest beings that were ever founded, you know?
More rappers in jail right now are Tory Lanez, 6ix9ine, Fetty Wap, Blueface, TSU Surf, Casanova, Max B, YFN Lucci, Bankroll Freddy,